Hey, this is Mark, the Mexican Dream Rodriguez, and you're watching another episode of WWE Aftershock Retro. We're talking about all the older pay-per-views from the past. And today in particular, we're going to be talking about Extreme Rules 2011 for a very particular reason. It was a pay-per-view that me, Johnny, and Pete watched back in the day, back in Sweet Pete's house, and something happened in the real world that affected us near the end of the pay-per-view. And if you guys haven't guessed it yet, this pay-per-view was originally live May 1st, 2011, if you guys can get some kind of a hint on that. And if not, by the end of the video, when I get to the main part there, I'll tell you what happened. So, Extreme Rules, most of these matches have no rules, no disqualifications, weapons and things can be used, so this is going to be pretty intense. First match we had here was Last Man Standing match between Randy Orton and CM Punk. And they got a stupid text from the anonymous general manager, that weird laptop thing that everyone obeys for whatever reason. I'll just throw it out the window. But the text did declare that this match had to be like their final match to resolve all their differences. I guess they had like a long-standing feud or something, but this had to be the final match to resolve everything. And also, CM Punk was a member of the Nexus, or I believe the leader of the Nexus, how these other guys there. And this match declares that no, these guys gotta get out of here, no Nexus members allowed. So it had to be a straight-up match between CM Punk and Randy Orton, so the match started. But right off the bat, before CM Punk even got into the ring, he was like exposing one of the turnbuckles and everything. And yes, it did come into play later on. So yes, this match was pretty intense. The only way to win this is that the other guy has to be unconscious for a 10 count. He cannot move or anything for a 10 count. So it was pretty intense. They were doing all their moves and everything. CM Punk even grabbed like a kendo stick and smacked the crap out of Randy Orton. He did manage to grab Randy Orton and smack him face first into the exposed turnbuckle. But of course, Randy Orton would still get back up, you know. And it would be like an RKO on CM Punk. He would still somehow get up. He actually did a RKO through the announcer's table. And somehow CM Punk still managed to beat the 10 count and get back up. And even Randy Orton, he did fell for the TMS couple of times. He still managed to get on up. And it was pretty intense. It was, you know, back and forth. They were hitting each other with steel chairs and doing all their special moves and everything, and slamming each other's face first into the ring post and all these kind of moves. And well, basically, the main thing that ends this is that they were both on the top rope and they were both grappling. It looked like CM Punk was going to do some kind of finisher or whatever. Randy Orton still grabbed them, RKO out of nowhere off the top rope, and yes, CM Punk was down for the 10 count. But I gotta say, this was a pretty intense match. They both gave it their all. They're both incredible athletes, and it was just, I mean, it was just so intense. I was on the edge of it because I had no idea who was really gonna win. There were all these moves, and there were so many like near misses and near 10 counts where it'd still get up like an 8 or count of 8 or count of 9 or whatever. That I gotta say, I mean, this is a hell of a match to get you all pumped up. I mean, this match easily could have been like the best second to last match or even the main event because it was really intense. But yeah, in the end, Randy Orton did win. The next match we had was Kofi Kingston versus Sheamus, a table match for the U.S. title. And basically, in this kind of match, it's like a table match. So basically what happens is that if you get slammed or whatever through a table, slam through a table, or run through a table, or whatever happens, if you break a table with your body, you lose. That's it. No countouts or nothing. It's just simply slam through a table, you lose. And in this one, Sheamus was already U.S. title champion, so it's like to see if Kofi could beat him. And yeah, Kofi, I gotta say, it's very weird seeing him just a little more serious than now with the New Day. Because Kofi was always a very like happy, kind of happy, cheerful dude. Even the Jamaican music he has as a theme song sounds very upbeat and everything. But with the New Day, with the trombone and the clapping and, you know, booty shaking, it just way too silly. So it's kind of weird seeing him here a little less silly and also fighting solo. But yes, he's always very agile. There's lots of incredible things he does. The two things he did that I remember the most, he had a table planted sideways and he was supposed to, I guess, run and charge Sheamus through it, but Sheamus got out of the way. But instead of him like running through the table and basically disqualifying himself or whatever, Kofi managed to jump up and just spread out and like grab like the ropes, like basically landing on everything except the actual table. So that was pretty intense. That was pretty good timing. Then there was a table like planted outside of the ring, and Kofi was near the ropes, like the outside of the ropes, and Sheamus got him with the bro kick. But instead of him falling through the table like you would expect, he still had enough time to somehow, I guess, propel himself or like just shove himself off the ropes like extra hard or whatever, so he would fall like on the mat and not on the table. So he fell like directly over the table and onto the ground. So that was pretty good because that could have ended it all right there. And yeah, it was pretty intense. I don't remember any other things, but those were the incredible things. Sheamus was pretty much, you know, he was a pretty tough force to go through. But in the end, he did get knocked out of the ring. And while Sheamus, this is kind of stupid though, while Sheamus was, I guess, propping himself against the table to somehow get back up or something. Why would you even do that in a tables match? But he was like up against the table trying to like recover or stand up or whatever. Kofi Kingston managed to get on the top ropes, jump on down, and just slam Sheamus through the table, and that's all she wrote. So now Kofi is the new U.S. title champion, so that's pretty awesome there. But I gotta say, dude, when you're in a tables match, don't like lay yourself against the table. That's just, I mean, yeah, not a good idea. But anyways, that was a pretty good match though, and I always like seeing his Kofi's like gymnastics, his acrobatics. He's just very agile. He's a very, very good jumper too. Like, wow, very good skilled guy. So then we had, this is just weird and cheesy as hell. This was a tag team country whipping match. It was a tag team match, and you had belts, like leather belts, and you whip each other. So it's a regular match, except that now you can use belts to whip each other. It's very weird. So it was this announcer guy, Michael Cole, and Jack Swagger, and Michael Cole wrapped himself in bubble wrap, and he looked cheesy as all hell. He was wrapped up in bubble wrap to, like, you know, so he doesn't get hit by the belt, so he can't feel it if you whip him with the belt and everything. And that was just cheesy as hell. And keep in mind that Michael Cole is just a commentator. He's not like these other ones that were like retired wrestlers like Jerry the King Lawler and other commentators. No, he doesn't look athletic at all. So just a random dude, bubble wrap. And Jack Swagger was there. And then their tag team opponents were JR, Jim Ross, and Jerry the King Lawler. And yes, both of them were actually wrestlers back in their day, but now they're, you know, they're sports commentators. And yeah, I gotta say, right off the bat, the biggest advantage was with Michael Cole because he had Jack Swagger, and out of all of them, Jack Swagger was the youngest, most fit, like he was the strongest guy there. JR is. He's extremely old. I mean, I don't even know what the hell he was doing there. He was pretty old. And Jerry the King Lawler, he was probably the better. He was a veteran wrestler, but he's also up there in age. I mean, if it was like him fighting against some other older guy, like it would have been more whatever. But for him against Jack Swagger had all the advantage. So basically, you know, they did some back and forth. Lawler tried to smack him with the belt, tried to smack Michael Cole with the belt, and of course Michael Cole was just laughing arrogantly because with all the cheesy ass bubble wrap on him, he couldn't feel the belt smacks or whatever. But eventually, Jerry did sock him in the face because that was kind of funny. Everything was covered except the face, so he socked him in the face, knocked him down, and ripped off all that stupid bubble wrap, and he started smacking each other with belts and everything. And yeah, JR did get into the ring a couple times because, like I said, he's the oldest one. He kind of stayed out of it the most and let Jerry the King Lawler take most of the match. So in a way, it was almost a handicap match, kind of, sort of, because Michael Cole can't really do much. But JR was grabbing Swagger with his own ankle lock, like, submission move. And that would have been, like, imagine that, gang. Like losing to your own submission move, but also to JR and everything. But, in the end, while they were wrestling, I do remember that Michael Cole did grab JR for a roll-up and everything. And it was a 1, 2, 3, and that's it. And Michael Cole won. And, of course, everybody was so pissed off because that was like a cheesy win. So Michael Cole and Jack Swagger did win, which is kind of weird because he was broadcasting at that same pay-per-view. So it's like after the match, he would go back to his booth and continue, you know, podcasting, broadcasting, whatever. That was a weird... very, very weird-ass match. Extremely weird match. And with the bubble wrap and the leather belts. It's just, I don't know. It was 2011. I don't know. So, the next match we had was Rey Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes. It was a false count everywhere match. So, basically, you could do the 3 count outside of the ring no matter where instead of, you know how it is. So, basically, it was weird, the promos and everything. So Cody Rhodes... it's weird seeing him insane, but as himself and not as Stardust. So basically, I guess he had a thing where he's like, oh, so handsome and oh, so ravishing and blah, 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 blah. But it all ended one match where Rey Mysterio did a move and smacked him right in the face and broke his nose. So Cody had to wear this nose protector thing, and he's walking around now with the nose protector thing looking all serious, having a big ominous hood, looking like some mysterious, creepy guy, you know, just plain insane and everything. And even though his nose is obviously fixed by then, he still thinks he looks so ugly. I must have this to cover my face, and I'll make you pay for ruining my face and all that. So he looks like downright dark and creepy and just crazy, but it's weird because he looks more like a more, it's like ironic. This is the past compared to the present, but in the past he was crazy in a more realistic, psychotic way, and now in the present he's insane in a silly cartoon character way that you would expect into like more in the 80s version of WWE with Dwight the Clown and all that. So that's kind of weird how they did that, past and present. But and it's also weird that Cody, I guess Cody's just always destined to play the crazy, insane guy in one way or another. So anyways, in this match it was falls count everywhere and everything. And yeah, it was what you would expect. They'll fight out a lot, do lots of moves. The match would eventually like go outside. They would go like right through the crowd. It's kind of weird. Just like how Roman Reigns kind of goes into the crowd when he makes his entrance. They were like beating each other up through that crowd, and they went out to the actual stands where you guys like buy your tickets and stuff to get in and everything. So that must have been weird if you were outside like buying popcorn and soda, and these wrestler guys just having to walk past you. They're still beating the crap out of each other. So yeah, they're beating the crap out of each other with everything, and like I guess the food dispenser things and the garbage cans or whatever. And eventually the match did, you know, go back into the ring. But the weirdest thing, this is like the weirdest way to end the match, considering the fact that Cody is, you know, the bad guy in this, and Rey Mysterio, so I guess he's a good guy. But near the end of the match when they were fighting, Rey Mysterio spits out this weird mist or something in Cody's face, and of course as Cody's distracted and everything, that's the chance to beat him down and get the 3 count. And it was this weird like it was like a weird green mist, but it looked like weird black liquid when it was actually like, you know, dripping down on Cody. But it was like the weirdest, most what the fuck way to win. But again, Extreme Rules, no disqualification, that counts. But that was like the weirdest way to win. That's like I said, it's just so weird because he's the good guy too, so you expect him to cheat, at least on that way. You know, you expect tables and chairs and junk, but not spitting out mysterious mist. And that's kind of funny though, because since he does have a mask on, he spits out the mist. It does remind me of Raiden for the first Fatal Fury game, also wearing a mask and also spitting out mist. A weird coincidence, but yeah. So anyways, then we have this match between the Divas. I don't know, well, I've heard of them, but I haven't seen them in action until now. If you know, there was a tag team between Layla and Michelle McCool. I think they were called Laycool as a team. I guess for whatever reason they're arguing, and for whatever reason they're, you know, not getting along. But this was like the last match here. This was like a quit match. Like whoever loses this match has to leave the WWE forever and whatever. So that was like wow. So. And apparently it was a disqualification match too. But to tell you the truth, the Divas didn't really do anything in this match that was, like, they didn't use any chairs or tables or other girls didn't come in to beat up one or nothing. It was like a straight up match. The only thing that was, I guess, non-disqualification is that they did fight outside of the ring, and you don't have to worry about a 10 count in this particular case. But it was pretty weird. They didn't really do anything like disqualification or whatever. One thing that was kind of funny, David Page had to mention, is that Michelle McCool was thrown against like where the audience is, like that front row with the audience. And she was like knocked out face first, like face down, you know, face down, booty up on the audience thing, and everyone was whipping out their pictures and their cameras and everything, their phones and everything. But it was funny because I mean, despite the fact that she's there and her butt's like right there, everybody was taking pictures of her face instead of her butt. And I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, it just looks weird that they're all taking pictures of her face or something. Like, I didn't see, unless the camera edited out or whatever, but not one person was taking a picture of her ass, even though it was like right there, you know, for those. I mean, I guess they made it worth it for the people that spent who knows how much for those front row seats, huh? So anyways, at the end, they did some kind of pin. This is a very, very weird pin. It's like Michelle pinned Layla, but Layla, like, I don't know what she did. It was like she raised her elbows or some junk, and even though Michelle was still on top of her, for some weird reason, that still counted like Layla pinning Michelle down. It was, I don't know, like, it was very weird the way it looked. The camera angle, I really don't understand that. I don't understand that because Michelle was technically still on top of her, but yet this counts like Layla pinning her out. But yes, so Layla pinned her, 1, 2, 3, I guess pinned her. Michelle is now gone out of WWE forever. I guess this was her final match. And, you know, lots of crying going on. I guess it was like they hate each other, but not to the point, like, I don't want you to, like, leave forever or anything. And lots of crying and tears and everything. So, Layla left. So Layla left and everything. And she was, like, upset and everything. And to make things even worse, out of nowhere, and it was like weird, out of nowhere, this big muscular diva named Karma came out with creepy laughter. Like her theme song had creepy laughter. She just came out of nowhere. And it was like a big powerhouse monster. And even Paige asked, like, where is she nowadays? Because she would have been cleaning house with these divas nowadays. That would have been like a real challenge. But Karma appeared in front of Michelle, and Michelle was like, oh crap, what the fuck is this? And no. And she was like begging and stuff. And Karma picked her up and did some kind of like face first body slam on the rope and everything, on the steel mat and everything, and she just did her evil laughter and stuff, and she left, and the scene ended with all the other divas, wherever they are, I don't recognize any of them, all the divas watching the TV screen, knowing that this Karma girl is now a part of the divas group, and that she's coming for them, you know, so that'll be like an intense thing. And I was looking back on this, it was actually Karma's debut, but it's like a weird thing, and for Michelle McCool to if that really was her last match, that really sucked to get beaten up by random big muscular girl to just, I mean, wow, if you're going to go out, that's the way to go out, I guess. Having some random person show up and beat the crap out of you. So, yeah, that's the thing. Layla won, Michelle is out. Then we had Christian versus Alberto Del Rio for a ladder match for the WWE heavyweight title. The heavyweight title's up there. They gotta climb the ladder to make it. This happened, I guess, very close to whenever Edge got that neck injury and he had to retire. So it was like, you know, Edge and Christian are good friends. So it was like let's win this one for your buddy, win this for Edge. So yeah, it's a pretty intense match. Not much that I remember in the match. The only thing I remember the most is that there was this small little ladder just around, and they would keep using that ladder to both either use it to climb from one to the other, or to just beat the crap out of each other with the ladder. It was a pretty drawn out match though. They were not giving up. They were not giving up. They were trying to climb the ladder the most they can. They were very focused. Most of the time, there's like personal issues where they care more about beating the crap out of each other and climbing the ladder. This was straight up trying to get up that ladder and beating each other up. And sometime during the match, Brodus Clay, for whatever the hell reason, I guess he hates Christian, showed up trying to stop Christian and everything, but you know, he still took care of it. And then near the end of the match where Christian was out and Alberto Del Rio was free to climb up the ladder without any opposition, Edge just drives in, driving this big band, you know, pickup truck or whatever, and honking the horn, and of course that distracted Alberto Del Rio long enough for Christian to get up and knock him off the ladder and everything and get the belt off. And that was pretty intense. But one thing that did get me, though, I did notice in the background, was when Brodus Clay got into, like, try to interfere and Christian, like, jumped off the rope and smacked him. It's like, I don't know what happened there. It wasn't really clear what happened, but there was a lot of blood on the floor, man, just randomly. Whenever the camera cut away to, like, more of the match, and they cut back to show Brodus Clay, he was all, like, whatever, and there was, like, lots of, like, his forehead was bleeding. There was a big pool of blood, like a lot of it, like, down, like, on the ropes, but, like, I mean, on the floor next to him, but, like, they tried their best to like, cover it up, like, the camera panned away. No one said, like, oh, my God, Clay is bleeding. Like, they just kind of, like, tried to cover it up. It was there. That was pretty... like, wow, what the fuck? I mean, Christian just jumped off the rope on him. I don't know what move or, honestly, I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. I don't know what happened there. Like I said, they tried to cover it up, but wow. The rules were more extreme for Rhodes that wasn't even in the match compared to Alberto Del Rio or Christian. But in the end, Christian did win. He did become the champion. All the fans went crazy. Edge was there. He held his hand up high. They were all like good and everything. And it was pretty awesome. But it did suck, you know, for Edge to be retired so fast. So then we also have this other match here. It was a tag team match. Very bizarre tag team match. It was Big Show and Kane versus Ezekiel Jackson and Wade Barrett. It was pretty weird. I think he wasn't called Bad News Barrett, just Wade Barrett, and he was pretty clean shaven. I'm always used to him having some kind of hair, beard, little goatee, something. It was weird seeing him clean shaven back then. So it was a lumberjack match. The way this works is all the wrestlers are outside, and if anyone gets thrown out, they gotta like pick them up and throw them back in. Like, no escape. Stay in the ring, you know? And I didn't recognize any of these guys. The only guys I recognized were the Usos, but the Usos were very weird. They looked so young, and this was before they had all their tattoos and junk, so it was even harder to tell. I mean, I had to really look at what I'm saying. Are those the Usos and all that? So anyways, it was a big match. And one thing that was noticeable is that Ezekiel Jackson was a pretty big powerhouse, so he was a better match against Kane and even Big Show. And of course, there was a funny thing where when Big Show was thrown out of the ring, it took everyone to try to pick him up and somehow put him back in the ring. And he didn't care. Big Show attacked all the guys. You know, he was throwing people left and right and everything, even though he wasn't technically supposed to attack the Lumberjacks. But it was just crazy. And some of the Lumberjacks even got into the ring after him, and he was still like throw him aside and everything. But the main thing was that Ezekiel Jackson showed his strength by being able to actually pick up the Big Show and body slam him, which of course is an impressive feat. But then when he was about to finish the job, I guess Berrett got too overexcited, or maybe he wanted to get the win or whatever. So he tagged himself in. This is stupid. He tried to pick up Big Show, like, yeah, fucking right. So obviously he couldn't. And then Big Show grabbed him for the choke slam. That's it. Pins him. 1, 2, 3. They lost. So Big Show and Kane won. And basically Barrett, I guess, over eagerness or whatever, cost him the match. And Ezekiel just stood there, just staring at him, all pissed, like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, we were winning, and you had to, like, mess it up. So, yeah, that was a pretty intense match there, pretty good match. It was pretty good to see all the wrestlers, but honestly speaking, wow, they have changed so much between now and then, because I did not recognize anybody in the Lumberjacks except for the Usos, but, wow. So then after that, we had the big one, the triple threat steel cage match. It was between John Cena, The Mizz, and John Morrison. And whoever whoever gets out of the cage, will win the WWE Championship title match. In this point of the timeline, The Mizz was the champion. He was acting a little more serious than usual. He was kind of full of himself, but he wasn't as goofy and like how he is now. I guess it was before he was in movies, because that's the whole thing started, I think. I think that once he was actually in the movie, he started doing this gimmick about, oh, yes, I'm a famous movie star, and, you know, all that stuff with the glasses and all that stupid stuff. But, yeah, so the triple threat match, so basically speaking, you don't have to pin the Mizz. You could pin the other guy and still lose. Or if anyone gets out of the cage first, that one wins. So that's the big trouble for Miz, because not only does he have to win, but he also has to make sure that John Cena or Morrison are not pinning each other, you know. So it's a pretty intense match. Right off the bat, the Miz tried to just skip everything, just climb up the steel cage, but they still pulled him down. Lots of fighting. Morrison was very agile. He was probably the most agile of the three guys. And honestly speaking, I do not know him that well, but yeah, he was putting up all the stops in there. And The Miz did grab Cena for the Skull Crusher finale, but Morrison took this chance to try to climb out, but they still pulled him back in. There was lots of fights, lots of things. There was another thing about this match was that apparently sometime before the pay-per-view, I guess R-Truth was going to be in the match or whatever, but for whatever reason, I guess maybe Morrison beat him or something, so Morrison is now in the match instead of him. So there was this one time that Morrison was almost going to get out of the ring and win, but then R-Truth came, beat the crap out of him, slammed the steel cage door in his face and everything, and yeah, he just beat him. And after R-Truth left, and it was funny, R-Truth even climbed out of the steel cage and right back out and everything to I guess, kind of show off that if I was in the match, I would have won. This is how I would have climbed the steel cage, you know. So after that, R-Truth left, but Morrison was down and out for the counts for the rest of the match there. And then John Cena and The Miz were up there. They kept fighting it out. It was pretty intense and everything. And you know, it was real close. It could have gone either way. And like usual, my friend Sweet Pete was against Cena winning because, you know, Cena always wins and everything. And this big thing here was the John Cena has gone 10 months without being a champion. Like, he hasn't been a champion for that long. Is way overdue. And I'm like, well, who the fucking cares if it's 10 months? Give other guys a chance. No one demands that you just have to be champion. Give someone else a chance. Who gives a crap? I don't care if you spend 2-3 years without being a champion. But anyways, Cena grabbed The Miz, AA off the top ropes. Miz is down and out. Cena climbs out. Cena wins, and all of us were like, oh, come on, man, like, oh, what the fuck, we were all pissed off that John Cena wins, and then, as we were all complaining that John Cena wins, like he always does, Pete's dad would tell us something about, oh, guys, they found Bin Laden, he's dead or something, and we kind of took a moment to pause and, what, Bin Laden's dead? I don't know, and we just went right back to bitching and complaining about John Cena and everything. We're, like, complaining about it and all that stuff, and yes, I know, like, it could be, like, an insensitive issue, or we just cared more about wrestling compared to the real world, but it's like, we didn't really hear him that clearly, or we thought he was, like, joking or whatever, because at this point, Bin Laden was hiding in all these mountaintops and everything, and he was like impossible to find, you know, so we didn't know that. So after the match ended and John Cena had the title and blah blah blah, you know, all that stuff, we turn off the TV, we go to the other room, we see the breaking news, and then it sunk in. We're like, holy shit, they found Bin Laden. Oh crap, they actually shot and killed him and everything. Like, damn, he's like finally dead, you know. So of course that all sunk in now, and you know, as we were going home, we discussed more about that, about like you know, after all this time, they finally found him, they finally killed him, and all the controversy about why they weren't like actually showing pictures of his dead body to confirm it, and you know, all that stuff that was going on. You guys remember, most of you were around during that era, but I just find it so funny that this just had to happen near the end of a live pay-per-view. Like, we weren't watching this like on a DVD or a rerun. It was like a live pay-per-view, and this like world-breaking event just had to happen like right then and there. That was just very weird. It's very, very bizarre timing. It's very bizarre timing how that happened, and that's why I want to do this episode, because we have watched lots of pay-per-views with Pete, but I really forgot most of the ones that we've seen. I mostly remember the WrestleMania with the John Cena versus The Rock, but this one stood out because this event. But that was a very weird thing. So anyways, guys, that's a good question for you too, guys. If you guys have seen this pay-per-view and you heard the news, I mean, what was your reaction? How did this affect you guys that you're watching John Cena, AA, The Miz off the top rope and win and all that, and then like, oh, by the way, Bin Laden's dead. They actually found him and killed him. I mean, how did this affect you guys? Wasn't that weird or strange for anyone that was watching this live? I mean, goodness, right? So anyways, guys, this is Mark Rodriguez here. As for the pay-per-view itself, I gotta say, I mean, yeah, it had some good matches here and there. I mean, but the best match had to be triple threat match, because Morrison, despite me not knowing him, he showed some intense skills in the ring. The match between Randy Orton and CM Punk, that was pretty intense. And I did kind of like the Lumberjack match just because it was weird seeing the Usos and what's his face, Wade Barrett looking so young and stuff. The rest of the matches were, yeah, kind of sort of. I did like that Kofi Kingston did show off his skills and defeated Sheamus. But other than that, you know, it was a pretty decent match. It was I just say above average. Like, half the matches were awesome. The rest were kind of sorta. The Divas one, again, was kind of a waste of time. They didn't really do anything spectacular in terms of wrestling skill as opposed to other matches or whatever. I mean, it was just like the big reveal that Karma came at the end, I guess. But yeah, pretty decent pay-per-view, but the main thing was the ending, like how the real world just got involved, I guess, you know. So anyways, guys, it's Mark Rodriguez here, and we'll see you next time. I'll see what other pay-per-views we got out there. There's tons of them. And again, if you guys have any particular pay-per-view that you think that I should review from the past, from all the history of the 80s, 70s, and you know, nowadays or whatever, for both the WWE, but also the WCW with their pay-per-views and stuff like that, let me know. Put your thoughts below. I'll try my best to catch you on the network and put a review. So anyways, guys, see y'all next time, and yep, we'll see you in the ring.